Gather round, gather round. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the center of the stage, where I'd like to introduce to you the one, the only, the incomparable.
And welcome to Austin James Unleashed. I am Austin James. Remember to like and subscribe for more great episodes on the way. We are so grateful to be here at the world-famous Texas Club in Baton Rouge, North Don Moore Avenue to be exact. And we're very fortunate to be sitting with the man who helped start the Texas Club. He and his family, the Rogers family, started great entertainment a long time ago. Mark Rogers, thank you, man. Sitting down and talking with us. This place has a history that is just unmatched.
Unmatched
In America, because how many clubs, entertainment venues, have been owned since 1981 by the same owners?
Yeah, I think that's, when you kind of like encapsulate the fact that it is independently owned by a family from the day we built the building until today, that does make us unique.
Now, you guys weren't always in the entertainment business. You had an auto parts store, which I absolutely love. And that was a while back.
Well, my dad worked at Ethel Corporation. He was an electrician. He had a strong desire to be in business for himself, so he opened up a parts store in 1961 on North and 38th in Baton Rouge, and we were in the parts business from 61 to 85, and that's where we learned how to do business. And in 1981, we opened up a Texas Club. But before that, if you go back to 1978, that's when we actually got into club business.
Was that Pharaoh's?
Yes, Pharaoh's Disco.
And where was that located?
It was on Bennington Avenue. The building's still there, but we don't own it. We sold it.
Yeah. So Pharaoh's happened, and then you had the mind for, or the idea for, Texas Dance Hall.
Well, actually, Pharaoh's, we got into disco business. We had to light a dance floor.
Did you wear platform shoes and
yes, of course
the whole
we
pants?
did.
I
Yes,
love that.
Yeah, polyester, you name it. And it lasted for about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then we decided we weren't club guys, I guess. We had failed. And so we leased our building out to a group of people that opened up a country, kind of like a urban country club.
Mm-hmm.
And they were doing good business. And it basically inspired us to maybe to get back into the business. My dad had this building that he had bought. They had disassembled a Continental Trailways shop where they actually worked on the buses, okay? And it was a fairly large building. It was like 60 feet by 130. It's a good sized building. And he just had it sitting on a piece of property, and we came here, and after the idea of getting into this business, we erected it here. But
a lot of people don't know that.
Our inspiration actually goes beyond, a little bit before the country place leased from us. We were trying to figure out ways to save our business. So I started booking live entertainment. I had to go into the yellow pages to find out about. I had no idea about PA or lighting or bands or anything, and we ended up bringing in some pretty good shows. Doug Kershaw, Diggy Diggy Low.
Oh, yeah.
River City Good Times Band, I think, played for us over there. The big one was Hank Williams Jr.
That was your first big one?
He played a disco in 1980, and most people don't know that. But yes, that's where we met Hank Jr.
With the disco ball and everything else. Was that in the club?
That was in the club, and I don't even know if we had a stage.
Really?
But he was a trooper. He came in and did a heck of a show, and we packed it out. We realized that live entertainment was
the
touring
way to
live
go.
Entertainment was very popular.
Right. So you had Hank Jr., George Strait, when he first came out. How many times has
that was
George
at Texas
Strait played
Club
here?
after we built this building?
Okay, that was right.
In 1981, April 22nd was when we opened. Our first show was Charlie McLean and Ronnie McDowell And to show you how much I did not know about country, I thought Charlie McClain was a dude. Very attractive woman.
Yeah.
And boy, it worked good. Peanut
Yeah.
Butter and Chocolate, man. Both of them got on stage, did great shows. We brought in Ernest Tubb after that, John Anderson. Finally, we brought in Hank Williams Jr. and packed the place out. And he basically put us on the map, let's face it. So
That's great.
But later that year, we brought in George Jones, Merle Haggard, Ricky Nelson, of Ozzie and Harriet fame.
Yeah.
And he also had a very good musical career. We brought a lot of artists in.
You can't put the cart before the horse. That'd be like,
Hey guys, it was a pleasure serving you.
But we didn't even order yet.
Huh.
never sign a contract with a roofer before he gets on your roof.
Call Go Roof instead.
We offer a free, no obligation inspection.
A beautiful roof every shingle time.
Bobby, goes in the front.
Now, a lot of these guys, did they seek you out, or did you seek them out to have them booked? Did they hear about the Texas Club and say,
Oh, no.
"Hey, we need to go there and play"?
No, nobody knew who we were. We're just a little brown building with a wagon on top. And, you know, in those days, I think artists were looking for venues. At that time, we were around 900 capacity, and that made us viable for bigger shows. And the fact that we did most of our shows on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays, since our club business was so strong, that we put our concerts on off days. And so we had a telephone, we had a desk, and I'd sit at the telephone, and I would make phone calls, and I'd met agents, and I'd talk to agents in Nashville, and they trusted us. And after we did a few shows, and we paid the bills, and we treated the artists pretty good, they decided this was a good venue. And that's when we started getting a reputation of being a good venue to perform.
And a lot of acts have come here, they played, and they've said, "I want to come back. I want to come back," because you treated them well, and they had a huge audience. It's great.
It happens a lot. It happened a lot back then. I mean, to name drop a little bit, I mean, George Strait played here in 82, then he played here in 83 and 84, 85. He played here 4 times. Garth came here twice.
Clint Black.
Clint Black's played here a couple of times. Yeah, it's very gratifying for an artist to compliment you after they play your venue and want to come back.
Brooks and Dunn. They played here.
They played here.
Also, Luke Combs, Luke Bryan.
Kix Brooks jumped off the stage and danced with the women during the show. That was cool. Garth Brooks apologized for not selling it out in '89. And what a lot of people don't realize, which shows his character, is the fact that he was too big to play here. This was an underplay the second time he came, but he did not cancel. He did not cancel anybody. He played every gig for like $5,000 when he was earning $50,000. He could have gone anywhere and played for $50,000, but he honored his contracts. Not every artist does that.
And a lot of times when he plays a concert, he mentions the Texas Club.
Well, I mean, he appreciates his history and his past, I guess. We appreciate him mentioning this now, but people like us brought him in on his first tour. You didn't know if George Strait how big he was gonna be, and how big Garth was gonna be. After they performed, you had an idea, because of the talent, the level of talent.
It's not only country acts, but you've had rock acts too.
I met a guy in New Orleans, Big J. He was a huge part of our family and, venue family. Mm-hmm. And he was a guy that basically discovered Zebra and brought them along, got them signed and everything. So he introduced us to a lot of good rock acts.
Styx played here.
Well, that was later on. Back when we were working with Jim, the Allman Brothers, Marshall Tucker Band, Blackfoot, all the Southern rock, Elvin Bishop. And then we did people like 38 Special, Pat Benatar, REO Speedwagon, Bad Company, Bachman Turner Overdrive. you see these bands perform now, right? Foreigner. And some of them don't have one original member. But when they played for us in the 80s and early 90s, they had basically an intact original band. And it was really cool because those bands were very inspirational to me.
Kevin Costner played here.
And it was pretty good.
Yeah.
He had some good music.
Kevin Costner in Modern West.
Yeah, it was a little bit different kind of country. It's kind of a Western type country, but he's talented. He could sing, and he could play, and he had a very good band behind him.
Yeah, and he was good on stage in that he communicated well with the audience.
And he was very friendly. I mean, Garth was very friendly. George was personable. You know, so many of these artists that performed, George Jones, Merle Haggard, you know. I think Haggard played here 4 times, and George played here 3 times. So
David Allan Coe's played here a lot.
Over 30 times.
Oh.
So started in '84.
Wayne Toops has played here a lot.
More than anyone else. Wayne has played here more than anyone else.
And y'all have a really good relationship.
I love Wayne.
Yeah.
He's a quality human being.
Yeah.
And a hell of an artist.
Oh, he's incredible. I mean, to hear Wayne sing on stage and to listen to his music in the vehicle, it's the same thing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like Joe Nichols.
And he does have charisma and stage presence. And if you've never seen Wayne, I would suggest anybody had never seen him needs to go see him at least once.
Right.
He represents not only himself, but his culture, his music, his state, and he's very proud of that, and he does it well. You know, he's a Grammy winner.
You guys, you and your brother Mike, who run the Texas Club, you are members of the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. That's quite an honor.
Yeah, I guess if you stay around long enough, some good things will happen.
Can you remember, this is going back a long time ago, but one of the ticket prices that you used to charge for an act to come in and play, say back in, when you guys opened in 81? Because I see some of the posters and the older items from shows gone by, and it was, well, $8 to get in, $7 to get in. And that's a long time ago when you had to get tickets at Maison Blanche or Gotcha's or something like that, or a boot store or whatever.
Well, we first started printing our tickets at a print shop, and that was Hank Williams Jr. And we found out that there were more tickets than people.
Yeah.
The tickets that we sold, and more people showed up than bought tickets. It got kind of hairy, and since the tickets were reprinted by whoever did whatever, and I don't know who did it, but we didn't know the difference between people who actually literally bought their tickets and were using the fake ones. So we just let everybody in, and it got kind of crowded, but it was interesting. It was a good show, great show.
Yesterday was a great day. Today's going to be even better. We go out there, we're going to be the best roofing company Baton Rouge has to offer. Let's go! Roof! Go! Roof! Go! Roof!
I think you told me one time we talked about doing 2 shows in one day.
Well, we did that with Ronnie Millsap. Had a choice to bring in Ronnie or Alabama. I think Alabama wanted a little bit more money, so I chose Ronnie, which was a good decision. I think either one would have been. Ronnie agreed to do 2 shows in one night.
Mm-hmm.
So we filled the club up, exited all those people after the first show, filled it back up again, and did over 2,000 people. And I think that's the second most people that's ever been to the club. When we shut down Texas Dance Hall in '83 and reopened it in '83, that first day we were open, we had 2,450 people show up.
That's amazing.
And everything that could have gone wrong.
And it wasn't at the same time, though.
No, it was that
Different
day.
times, yeah.
Yes. That day we opened during the day for a soft opening, and then we opened that night, and everything that could go wrong went wrong.
I bet.
Oh, everything.
Same thing happened with Disneyland. I mean, the paint was still drying, the tar was still hardening. When they let the guests in, rides were breaking down. They ran out of soft drinks and food and everything else.
All that happened. When we first opened up, we had a parquet dance floor, and so
what's that?
We had little square pieces of wood together.
Okay. Yeah, a design.
It was a 70s thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, or 80s too. Just like, channel carpeting or whatever, right? Shag or whatever. Anyway, so we had parquet and we didn't like it. So this might have been one of my decisions. I don't know. We decided to put down a vinyl floor, just squares, white, black, checkered. It looked fantastic. When the people tried to dance on it, they couldn't dance. Their feet got stuck to the.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had to tear that. Then I put my DJ booth upstairs on the balcony, and every time somebody walked upstairs, we used vinyl. The needle would skip. Air conditioner broke.
Oh.
The plumbing broke. The coolers broke. Everything. And somehow, 90 degrees in the club, people hung in there. It was not a good look. Somehow we survived it.
That is a great story. Now, what we see here is not what the club looked like when you first opened at this location.
Pretty darn close. Pretty close. I didn't have that whole front addition on. Texas Dance Hall was just...
But didn't you extend the stage a little bit, the ceiling and whatnot?
Well, we raised the height of the ceiling on the dance floor and made it a little bit bigger. But basically, that's what... We still have a mural painted on the back of Winchester was a great Western painter. And a guy came in from Bourbon Street and recreated that image and we covered it up and painted it black. But if I took the plywood down, you would see that painting on the wall that was originally here in 1981.
That's amazing. So you all closed in 83 for a while to remodel.
We actually remodeled while we were still open. A big club opened up on Florida Boulevard and was threatening us. But the one thing that he did not do, they didn't bring any live entertainment in.
What was the name of that club?
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
And they were ready to, even when we remodeled and came back, we saw our business didn't rise, it was starting to slow down. We knew that we had to have a special promotion of some kind to save us. So they celebrated their 1 or 2 year anniversary by giving $1,000 away for 7 straight days, and they had a different promotion every night. Hell, we didn't take that much money in. There's no way we could compete with that. They were multi-millionaires. The club was a $2 million club. And we had to outthink them. So they had, one of their nights, they had something called Bears You Dare. And they gave me this idea. Thank you, Cowboys. And so I was sitting there thinking about it, and somebody came into my office and said, "Mark, there's a guy that drove up into your front parking lot and he's got a bear in the back of his truck." I said, "What?" He's got a dancing bear. I said, "I'm not going to go out and see." I don't like mistreating animals. He was a real bear.
Real bear.
And he was in a small cage, and I really felt bad for him. And I said, "Man, I'm not going to bring a dancing bear in my club." He said, "Well, how about if you do male dancers?" I said, "Hey," put 2 and 2 together. I said, maybe I can. He called it Le Bear or something. So I said, "Okay, I'll see you later. Thank you." Cowboys had sent him around to my club and said, "We don't do stuff like that, but we know somebody who probably will." There wasn't a lot of respect going between either one of us. And they gave me the idea to do a mail review. So I put together a mail review somehow, some way. I found this guy in New Orleans, went to the health clubs. 800 women show up. The first night we did, it was a Thursday night. 800. We did it again. 1,000 women showed up. 1,000 women in one place, a lot of women.
Yeah.
No men. So Mike and I, and at that time, Cowboys had a big night going on Wednesday night, Love Ladies Night or something. Mike and I ride down the road, and we thinking, what can we do? We got Thursday now. No, let's put it on Wednesday.
Went head to head.
Head to head. Mano, mano. I guess we were crazy. I wouldn't do something like that now. I'm too old. Don't have those kind of guts or whatever it took. We did it. And they panicked. They shut down Cowboys, tore down. They had this beautiful, instead of a mirror ball, they had a mirror saddle. They had a raised oak dance floor. Huge. You die party. They threw it all out in the front. I started to go get some of it.
Why not?
Yeah, I know, really. So they threw it all away, and they opened up another club, and it was plumb crazy or something. And that lasted a year.
Yeah.
And they were gone.
So you were open a few short years. And then in 1987, you celebrated your 1 millionth customer.
Yeah.
That's an incredible amount of people in such a short time.
Well, it was a different time. It was a different time in those days. People actually went out and met people in different places. I think nothing makes me more prouder, I think, than all the people that met their significant other here.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
I run into
Run
that
across
a lot,
it all the time. Run across it all the time. More so than the opposite, losing their significant other here. A lot, and just a quick story, kind of like off the beaten path. I was on a baseball. My kid was on a baseball team, a traveling team, and 4 of us had met our significant others. 4 groups of parents on that team at one of our venues. Texas Club was one. Funny Bone Comedy Club was another where they met. I don't know, Element, one of those clubs back then. And that's when it really struck me, and this was like in the early 2000s, how many people actually met each other at one of our venues.
Yeah. And to this day, when I'm here covering a concert or whatever, a lot of people will say, come take a picture of us because we met here and this is our daughter who's 18 or 19, whatever,
Oh, yeah.
our son.
I run across that.
And that's amazing. I mean, that really is a staple in this community.
Well, we've had over 6 million people come through this venue in our history. Back in the early 90s, we were doing 5,000 people a week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good month.
Yeah.
That's 5 concerts,
And those are just people coming to the bar, not necessarily seeing the show.
Dancing. See, when we came back, Texas Club, we didn't want to be dance hall anymore. It pigeonholed us a little bit in the artists that we could bring in. It kept us, we were 100% country at that time. When we came back in 83, we did start mixing our music into a lot of dance music, Michael Jackson, Prince. There was a lot of really good stuff at that time that was very popular. And yeah, we mixed it 20 minutes of country, 20 minutes of dance music, and that kept the ladies happy.
Yeah.
And it just made a good mix. And we did catch a little bit of grief at first from the country people for playing that music. But think about a club or any type of business. You don't keep the same customers that you had. You have to turn your customer base over every year. Every 6 months is pretty much how we looked at it.
You know what?
And that was important to keep young people coming in. And we heard about being a kid club. We heard about, going out of business because we were losing all of our paying cut, whatever. Never happened because we always kept fresh blood coming through our venues. And, when you think about the kids that came through in 1988, they're grandparents now,
Yeah.
And if someone came through in 1981 and they were 18, they'd be 61 right now, right?
Pretty much.
Now
That's
makes you take pause
Whoa.
on how long we've
Whoa.
been here.
I know.
And I've booked every show basically that's ever come through here.
Yourself.
Yeah. I'm that old.
Well, I don't think the word is old. I think it's seasoned. You're well seasoned.
I'm still having fun doing it.
We have to.
We have Drake White coming this week. It's going to be a sellout. And so, I mean, the young guys that I've met lately, Warren Zeiders, Ray Clay Strays, I mean, so many really talented, fantastic artists, and they're fantastic people.
Mm-hmm.
They're good people, and you sit down and you talk to them. It's grounded conversations, and it's just, it makes you hold out hope for the future with this generation. They're really great young people. Fantastic.
2020 hit, and that was COVID.
Closed down for a year.
It hit a lot of places really, really bad, especially this one. And then you all thought about how to move forward. And you went from a club coming out on any night to a concert venue. And that's worked out pretty well for you.
Well, the thing about, we were going through changing times for a decade before COVID hit. And before we got into the club business in 1978, Baton Rouge consisted of neighborhood bars. I hung out at South Downs Lounge, and then we came up and they had the J Club, which held 300 people. You had Smackwater Jacks, maybe 300 people. Those were big clubs.
Yeah.
But that was kind of like a nationwide industry. There was a franchise that opened up called 2001. And as we were building our first club, they came to Baton Rouge. So we never had it easy. We had to battle them through thick and thin. Neither one of us lasted too long. I think they probably outlasted us a little bit, but we learned from them. You learn from your competition, you learn from your mistakes. You don't learn from winning, you learn from losing. I'm not saying you don't learn from winning, you just don't learn as fast because you think you know it all because you're winning. Why change when you're winning, right? It's when you lose. And your gut tells you you can't afford to lose because this is what you want to do for a living.
Right.
I don't want to go back doing whatever else I can do. Building houses were fun. We used to build houses too. And that's probably what I'd be doing. I'd probably be a contractor in construction if we didn't do this, but not as much fun.
It is fun. I mean,
it's fun.
When there's a crowd in here and a great band on stage, it really is electric. I mean, people are having a great time. They're going up to the bar, talking to their friends, out here taking pictures for your Facebook page. And a lot of people are walking around saying, okay, I want to come back here.
The difference, I think, now is when we were a club and a concert venue. So I'm not working 5 nights a week. I spend a lot of time away from my family. It's not easy. It's not. It's got 1 minute of glamour and 23 hours and 59 minutes of hard work. And when everybody else is having fun in here, that's when you got to work twice as hard because if someone isn't getting the right drinks, if someone can't get to the restroom, if someone can't park when they arrive, when someone is hot, when the floors are sticky. No, that's not. You have to make sure all that is not happening. And then it's a whole different animal to take care of the artist.
Yeah, you have security out in the parking lot, so
lighted security, people out there, and so finally at the end of the day, you relax and say, hey, we had a win. It was a good night. And if it wasn't, it still can be a win because it's not always about making money. It's about building an artist. George Strait, I think we did like 4 or 5. It was $3 to get in here, right? Show and dance, and we might have done 300 or 400 people. But
That's
he stayed.
nuts.
But he came back and sold it out 3 times where you couldn't fit Garth, so you couldn't fit another. You know, so yeah, you have to cultivate an artist. You have to trust him, believe in your instincts.
It's hurricane season, and Go Roof wants to make sure you're prepared for the next storm.
Charge batteries so you can stay informed about weather conditions.
Be proactive by trimming and removing damaged trees and limbs.
Secure loose items around your house.
Check your insurance coverage to make sure you are covered for any potential damage.
Fuel up your vehicles, generators, and gas cans. Also, remember that stored gas is usually only good for around 6 months.
After the storm, call Go Roof for a free no-obligation roof inspection.
And be safe this hurricane season.
I think a good example of that is Cody Johnson.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because he opened up, I forgot for whom. And then you had him back as a headliner. And I think maybe 150 people showed up.
No, here's what happened with Cody.
And then after that, there were
I met his booking agent in Nashville.
Lined down the street waiting to get in.
I met his agent in Nashville. It was a happen chance encounter, okay? And Chad Cadonk, he had an agency in Texas called Red 11. Now he's a CAA guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the guy that basically introduced me to Cody. And we brought Cody in here. And really the true story is Cody did 275 people the first time he was here. Brought him back, 200 and less. And Cody said, Mark, this doesn't happen to me. I'm at the Houston Rodeo big and drawing bigger than George Strait did. This isn't, and I'm going, Cody, you're so freaking talented. Something's got to happen. He said, I'm taking this person. I'm going to come back and win Baton Rouge. That's what he told me. He said, he was a determined man. He's a songwriter, talented beyond get out. So I put him in front of Joe Nichols, and I put him in front of Eli Young. Then he came out with a song. Sold me out 2 times, and then made me sad. He said, Mark, his agent said, we don't sell out more than twice in a market. We get bigger. And the rest is history. Just got bigger. Now he's filling up the River Center. But you know what? He invites me to the shows, and that is marvelous, and it's such an honor just to have him remember me and like us. And
yeah,
my brother and I, Michael, go. And Mike was a big part of opening this thing up. And he left and went and opened up the Funny Bone and was away for a few years. But he's been back with me since 2014, and we run it together. And my kids are tending bar behind the bars. And now that started in 2000. And I think that changed a lot. I mean, they're my ambassadors.
Yeah.
People know them.
Your legacy.
They're just good people, and they treat customers good, and they got a lot of friends from here, and I'm very fortunate.
Luke Combs played here twice, back-to-back nights.
No. Oh, no? Yeah, Luke did. I'm thinking of Luke Bryan.
No, not Luke Bryan.
It snowed when Luke Bryan played here.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. And it also snowed when Blake Shelton played here, too. I remember that. It snowed when
2005.
Blake, and that's when Blake still had his mullet.
Yeah.
He's had the whole thing, the cowboy hat.
I wasn't so sure about him, but Lord have mercy, I had no idea how talented he was.
Yeah.
He was super talented, and so was Luke. I just waiting for Luke to blow up. But Luke Combs, he came on a Thursday. He sold it out. And we said, hey, guys, we're not doing anything on Wednesday. How about it? Sure. Sold it out faster than we sold the first one out.
Yeah.
Because people realized that they had to get a ticket if they're going to see that show.
That's amazing.
I'm trying to think. Did Carly Pierce? She might have opened She might open that show.
I can't remember. I
know she did. I think Carly did, because she came back later.
She opened up the show.
Brett White, and they
right.
but she opened for Luke.
With Brett Young. Yeah.
But she did with Luke.
Right.
And then, because I remember bringing my daughter up to meet her, and she was so sweet, so nice.
Years ago, Frank Foster was playing a show here. I think it was 2016. And I went on his bus, talked to him, because Frank and I have been knowing each other for quite some time. And there was a girl on the bus. And Frank introduced us. And she talked, and we got to know each other so well. Great girl.
Mm-hmm.
Name's Lainey Wilson.
Yep.
And she played on that stage acoustically. She didn't have the bell bottoms or anything like that.
Yeah. The last time she played here, she opened up for anyway, I'll think about it. So, but to tell you about Frank started playing for me in 2011. He was playing another venue around LSU. He came and played for me. He says, "Man, I should have been playing here the whole time." Thank you, Frank, for saying that. He's played for me. So we flooded in 2016. We didn't know if we were going to open back up. Not because Texas Club didn't flood. I don't even think we lost power. But all our customers were socked. I mean, people couldn't get to us. So Frank said, "Mark, I know you're struggling down there. I'm going to come down. I'm going to play a show for you. You just give me this much money," which was low money for him, "and you just keep everything over."
Mm-hmm.
He did that. And that's the kind of man he is.
Yeah.
He's
a good guy. He really is.
He's a genuine, really super person. Every time I see Frank, we both light up.
Mm-hmm.
We're on speed dial. He's a wonderful man.
He is.
Lainey Wilson was as sweet as she could be. She was going to come play here. And I think we couldn't do it. Her career took off so fast after that first song. There was just no way that she was in a whirlwind, and she probably still is.
I came here for the Flatland Cavalry Show, I should say, not Cavalry Show. First time they played here, and I was amazed how many people were here for that show. Red Clay Strays, a lot of these acts that are quote-unquote underground. And people performed, they sang along to all the songs. The fans loved it. Did you think that was going to happen? That it was going to be that slammed?
No idea. You know what? Red Clay Strays has a wonderful agent, Alex Collion. And he said, "Mark, I got a band. It's my band. And I want you to do it." So I did it,
mm-hmm.
Because he wanted me to. And he'd done a lot of really nice things for me. And wow, I don't know if I've ever seen, well, I'll tell you this. There was a guy that had played before COVID named Morgan Wiley. And his opening act was Hardy. Morgan played for me a couple of times. He was going to actually come back and play again one last time before COVID hit. It kind of cost me it cost me some really good shows, I have to tell you. COVID unnecessarily, now we know, shut us down. It cost us a lot of great shows. Probably 50 shows that year. All I did was walk.
Yeah.
Walk, mile after mile after mile. Hundreds of miles. That's what we did. And we worked on, there was a project that a couple of senators put together because a group of really highfalutin clubs got together, and it was called Save Our Stages, and we got a grant that's helped. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. The government shut us down, and the government's brought it back.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Are there any acts out there that are coming up that you'd like to contact and have them play this venue?
Oh, golly. Yeah, I just don't know who they are yet. Oh, yeah. We're always bringing new people in and introducing them.
If someone locally wanted...
Well, Red Clay was brand new.
Yeah. What about someone locally?
Treaty Oak Revival was brand new.
That was amazing.
They're blowing up.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Golly.
Are you always looking for local talent?
No. We do like to support local, no doubt. We do. Parish Caroline, they were opening act. We had a band called Gillis Salo playing for us probably in 15, 16. And we brought in Casey McKenzie was managing them at that time, and that's pretty much where I met Casey, who plays a pretty big role with us now. And he had this, Gillisalo kind of like blew up. They were gone. They were no longer a band. It was like, what? I mean, these guys are getting ready to take off, man.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It was like a group that we brought in called Back Road Anthem, you know? And they lost their front man, Craig, who was just one of the most beautiful people I ever met in my life.
Very nice guy.
And then Gillisalo blew up. And guess who filled the void? Parish Kind Line. We promoted them the exact same way that we did Gillisalo. And here we are. I mean, there are a lot of other people that are very good. Dominic Michael, Thomas Kane, to name a few. Clifton Brown.
Chase Tyler Band.
Chase Tyler. We got him coming up. Clifton Brown played for me back in the 90s. Back in those days, we opened up every Thursday night for a couple of years, like 99, 2000, maybe 98. Well, we brought a local band in every Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was David Morgan or, you know.
David.
Well, we did when we first opened up, River City Good Time Band.
Yeah.
With Jim Hogg, right? And he first played for us at Pharaoh's at our disco also. That was one of the bands. That's where I met Jim. And I think he's doing, his son did a podcast with you, James.
James Lyndon Hogg.
It runs in the family.
Absolutely.
Super talented people. Showmen to the max. And they helped us tremendously because local bands have local connections. Their fan base. They know them personally. And if they're really good, they can really draw a good crowd. And people associate and identify them with the venues that they play in. So they were a big boost to us. There's no question about that.
If you want to see a great show, you're around the Baton Rouge area, South Louisiana, come to the Texas Club. 456 North Downmore Avenue. Historic place, huge place, and the acts that come in will really entertain you. TexasClub.com, the TexasClub.com website. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe even MySpace. Who knows?
Maybe some TikTok. Definitely X.
X, formerly Twitter. Right.
You didn't ask me about the movies that were shot in here.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about the movies and the commercial.
Well, Jason Aldean, and I went to visit Jason when he played here at the Rock the Country, and my favorite booking agent of all time, Kevin Neal, and Kevin looks as young as he did in the 80s. It's amazing. I have to tell you, I have to find out. He needs to bottle that up somewhere. But he shot his Wrangler video commercial in here. They had two. One was at a big arena, but the one in a club, the first one, was shot here in 2010 or 11. And Jason remembered that when I went to see him. That's the first thing he said to me, because their bus broke down back there. Well, yeah, they didn't leave till the next morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we had a movie. Sean Connery's son is a director, Jason, and he directed a movie in here called The Philly Kid that was shot partially in here. It was a MMA type movie. It's a good movie though. It's on the internet. And then there was a movie called The Blaze or Blaze. Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, remember that.
Produced and directed it. And I met Ethan in here, super guy. I got dude nominated for 4 Academy Awards, right? Heck of an actor, but down to earth guy. He came in here for at least a week to shoot the movie and to shoot the scenes. So, and we've had some CMT stuff done here. I think there was a girl named Julie, in the 90s, Julie, and I'm trying to remember her name, doggone it. Anyway, CMT was following her around. And so she came in here when we were doing the review and they got on stage.
Oh, boy.
And they shot the video and it was broadcast nationally. It was fun.
Movies, videos, commercials have been shot here. great artists. Lane Hardy has played here as well, American Idol winner.
Toby Keith.
Yeah, Toby Keith.
We just lost Toby. So many great entertainers have played here that we lost. Toby Keith, Charlie Daniels, John Prine, Chris Ledoux. Goodness gracious. And I mean, there's so many, you know, Lonesome Dave with Fog Hat, right? So, golly. But I guess a lot of people pass in 43 years, right? 43 years.
And more great years are coming up here at the Texas Club.
Yeah, I mean, I still got some energy left.
Yeah.
You know,
You play golf a lot. You're okay.
Well, it takes a lot more than just opening up and putting someone on stage. You know, first of all, you got to route them in here. You got to figure out a way to get them down here to South Louisiana. Then you got to bypass 7 casinos that I'm competing with, right?
Yeah.
All the way from Lake Charles just to New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention Biloxi and all these other. So artists, you know, when you book a show, you're not competing with any other venues in our neighborhood. Actually, we have one of the few venues in Louisiana that do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were talking about independently owned or whatever. You know, you've got your House of Blues where massive money is behind them, whatever. They can have a venue that doesn't do any good and just write it off. We have to be successful to survive. You know, so we're just to get an artist down here to perform down here, they got to want to come. And I will say this, not in a bragging way, but in an informative way, I guess. Artists want to come play for us. I've got artists that come in here, these young guys say, we've heard so much, we've always wanted to be here, and it's so flattering, even from people that you don't even know who they are or where their career is going. It doesn't matter. You know, it's like, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having that idea of who we are and wanting to be down here and share part of it. And therefore, we'll make them a poster and put it on the wall, and we'll give them a poster. And
there are a whole bunch of them up here.
Yeah, there are. And every one of them represents a really good day in my life.
Good. Mark Rogers, thanks for talking with us.
Thank you, brother. And by the way,
yes.
Austin, I will say this
sir.
about you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, before you leave. Okay.
Watch out.
You've meant so much to us.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I've been knowing Mark since 1927, it seems like. And
I'm glad I believe I was your nephew's friend.
Yes. Yeah, my nephew's friend. The guy, he should be on stage with a comedy act. He really should go and tour.
I know comedy, and I know that you're wrong.
But anyway, Mark Rogers, our guest for Austin James Unleashed. We're here at the Texas Club. Check out thetexasclub.com for future shows and all social media, and we'll see you hopefully here. I am Austin James. Thanks to Kevin White with Mach 10 Media and also Go Roof. Thank you for watching Austin James Unleashed. And remember to like and subscribe right here. Thank you for watching.